Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bianca, and let me tell you a story. I actually tried to start a diary at least 5 times in my life. I can't quite remember why, but I'm willing to bet that it was most probably because I drew a lot of inspiration from The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. They all failed miserably in the sense that I either tend to, one, forget to write into my diary a week or two after getting started, or two, well, I'm kind of a bit of a perfectionist and I just tend to cringe at my own piece of work 10 minutes after getting started. So that clearly went well. But if I were to look back at those years after spending a fair bit of time growing up, I guess the mistake I, again, probably have made was that I was actually trying to write a diary not exactly for myself. And therefore, it became really difficult for me to sustain that habit over a long period of time. So, judging from the title of this video, I am guessing that the next big question you have for me is, so, Bianca, what brought you to gratitude journaling? To keep things simple, I started gratitude journaling simply because I needed to practice viewing things from a different perspective, or more specifically, a much more positive/optimistic perspective. So in life, everyone will have their fair share of good and bad days. Whilst at certain points in our lives, some of us will have our absolutely amazing days, whilst others may have their absolutely terrible days. And since I also fall under the Homo sapiens category myself, I too cannot escape this reality. On top of that, I realized that I am also someone who tends to struggle with something called the negativity bias, which basically means that I have this nasty habit of overly dramatizing or magnifying or even just unnecessarily dwelling on the negative events as opposed to the positive ones that has happened to me. As a result, I frequently found myself running on what I would describe as dirty fuel, which comprises a disturbing cocktail of pessimism, resentment, and, in certain occasions, cynicism. Put simply, that's just not a good way to live. No. And because of this mindset, I realized that I needed to cultivate the habit of constantly reminding myself that amazing things happen every single day, no matter how big or small that thing is. And this eventually led me to discover the power of gratitude journaling. Because, number one, gratitude journaling essentially forces you to see the good in each day. Whether it is just showing gratitude for your parents for always being there for you regardless of your achievements or mistakes, being grateful for having a roof above your head at night as you sleep, or mentally thanking that stranger who pointed you in the right direction when you're lost in the middle of a big city that you're new to without any internet connection. Writing all of these things down means that you are acknowledging the good things that happen to you in your day-to-day life. This in turn has actually been scientifically proven to help you to experience more positive emotions or even to employ a much more optimistic perspective towards life in general. And really, getting to enjoy a much more happier life is never a bad way to live. And not to mention, gratitude journaling is arguably a far smaller commitment than a diary, or at least for me. Because the art of gratitude journaling is that there is essentially no right or wrong way to keep one. You have the power to control how many things you would like to list down every day to be grateful for, and the level of detail that you are comfortable with going into. The whole point is to get yourself thinking about the simple joys in your day-to-day life that someone could very easily miss out on if they didn't take a moment to pause and look back. Subsequently, you'll be able to live a much more fulfilling and emotionally healthier life. So these were some of the core reasons as to why I personally started gratitude journaling and why I aim to keep up with this habit in the long term. I hope that these have been an interesting learning point for you, or maybe a source of inspiration for you to start your own gratitude journal. Alternatively, Feel free to share in the comments section below as to what are your reasons for starting gratitude journaling. And in case you're wondering how to get started, it's actually pretty simple. Just buy yourself a cheap notebook, like this one. I literally got this at the supermarket for a discount, and just start writing. Till then, please like and subscribe. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. In fact, I can actually write that down in my gratitude journal. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!